Hey guys, welcome back to Romans 13. I just finished up a rough draft. It's it looks better digitally than it could if I had done it another way. If you're wondering what that album art is, pareidolia, something that I saw like a jackboot on a demon's head. I don't know, just pareidolia is a weird thing. It haunts me sometimes. Anyway, you have like one of those snap containers you get out of the quarter machine, 50-cent quarter machine or 75-cent quarter machine, whatever. Comes with a little kid's toy or something. Anyway, I already showed the Metsobushi Whippet from a 3D printed Easter egg, which, obviously couldn't hold up to the force. It kind of just broke apart. And this might break apart too. The different containers you can use are like this plastic Easter egg down in the corner. It looks like a real one, but you got to look close at it. You can see the dividing line there. You also got this very small Tupperware container. So those are the three that I came up with that could be hypothetically attached as substitutes to make this device. I think the quarter thing is universal. Now, what they usually do with Easter eggs is they take a spring and then they put it in the Easter egg to have it under tension. I think sometimes they put a rubber band on it too, but then they'll fill it with like airsoft BBs and then throw it, and then it becomes a little airsoft grenade. I thought that would be kind of cool, for like a Metsobushi grenade thing too. Maybe mix the BBs together with it to help push the powder out, give it some kind of mass in between it. But in this way though, if you were to like attach the Easter egg to the paracord, it has that little bit of extra spring behind it to make it want to kick off when you smack it into the side of somebody's head for a defensive blinding tool. I didn't put up any like chili pepper in this one. I kind of went with my own recipe. Usually you want to go after peppers and stuff. That's like the old Metsobushi. It's basically mace. It's like a hot pepper powder. It's a blinding powder. You can use dirt and stuff, but I kind of simplified the recipe down. I also have a hexagonal nut here because I think that just having this tool alone, it isn't good enough. So it might be a good idea to tie a hex nut underneath of it when you're swinging it around. That way when your container breaks open, you still have something to kind of swing around to keep somebody at a distance. Like stay away from here. I'm going to keep cutting your face with this metal bolt and it's not going to feel good. Nobody wants to get hit over and over and over again with something like that at all. It's no fun at all. And it can definitely leave some damage before you close the distance, and then you have to know some kind of grappling something. So, try to get side control and try to get the rear naked choke. If you get in the mount, you got to learn some mount escapes. If they're a jiu-jitsu practitioner, they do wrestling, you're probably going to get your butt kicked. Anyway, you're going to notice ground cloves. I use that all the time in my recipe. You can also use that mixed with flour. Flour is a good base, but usually they suggest ashes from a fire. That's why I got that in the top left corner. There's also glass, any kind of glass. A light bulb suggested with a mortar and pestle. You can also use toilet porcelain, flint chert, obsidian, slag, beer bottle glass, industrial glass, any kind of glass, mirror glass that's been broken, like a broken mirror, broken TV glass, any kind of glass. Then there's like metal powder, metal shaving powder, any kind of metal dust. That could be copper, that could be brass, that could be steel. You can usually just get that from a bench grinder. It could be aluminum. Just nasty stuff to get into the eye. You can also argue like fiberglass or bits of bone powder. That would be pretty nasty to get in the eye too. Just anything to make that attack stop. So this is very, very nasty stuff. It's blinding powder. It's meant to be a get away from me device. Like, get the hell away from me. My life's in danger. I'm not playing. I'm going to swing this whip, and if it hits you in the face, you're going to hypothetically get all this powder in your face, and you're not going to like it. You're going to have a very bad time. And there's all kinds of other stuff. We got into like plants that are pretty bad. You can look them up if you want to. There's all kinds of different stinging plants. There's stinging nettle and stuff. I filled my Metsobushi container with some stuff like that. It's just a pop tube that I carry with me that you can kind of like fling out if you need it in emergencies. But hogweed is pretty bad. There's like some different plants that cause like blisters. There's one in Florida that's really, really nasty for stuff like that. But I mean, it's up to you, like how you want to element like a mercy in your own equipment. But it's completely up to you, considering how crazy things are right now. But the more things become Mad Max, the more I continue to share this knowledge. I think ninjas used to poison tip metal too, but I know that there's some stuff, some venoms and stuff from animals that you get on your skin, and it can be quite uncomfortable. Even like jellyfish toxin and stuff like that kind of stuff. It's crazy well it's burning and stuff. And then there's also like poison sumac, poison ivy, and that's dangerous to mess around with yourself, even with gloves and stuff on. Probably not some stuff you want to get into. I know that there's some plant saps that are even toxic to touch that can get absorbed, and even like larsic acid or the parasite on rye. Like that's some pretty nasty stuff too. So just depending on your batch of whatever you're cooking up, it could be all kinds of crazy. Considering the environment that you're in, it could be a war zone like Ukraine, where Russians are running around killing women and children. By the way, I want to speak on the Ukraine thing because everybody's like pro-Russia right now. Please look up Yuri Bezmenov's lecture on Russian subversion. No, I don't support the radical left. No, I'm not a Democrat. I am a Republican. But if you watch Yuri Bezmenov's lecture on Russian subversion, you're going to understand that Russia is the reason why America and other countries have been subverted for this rainbow agenda. All of this woke stuff, this all comes from Russian influences in our colleges. That's basically what Yuri Bezmenov was talking about. It was meant to destabilize a nation, and then while one side's going crazy, the other side would look to a model nation that shows conservative values. In that case, Russian subversion intended for that to be Russia, to show the conservative values and the Christian morals and all that stuff, and then they could use that new view to basically invade a country or influence its policies. That's Russian subversion. That's how it works in a nutshell. So basically, Russia's the reason why our country's going to hell right now. So my personal opinion is they should be a parking lot, and this should bring unity on all sides. So would you rather go into civil war and completely destabilize, or get back at the enemy that completely effed it up? That's just, I don't know why nobody's putting this out there. I've said it over and over and over again. I feel like a broken record. I don't get very far with the truth ever anymore. I tell the truth, and it just kind of gets forgotten about. Everybody's like, oh yeah, he told me that, and I've seen that, but I just don't think it's, a huge deal, and Russia just looks like, they're a cool guy. He's a cool guy. Putin's okay. Yeah, he just, poisons reporters with tetrodotoxin in their underpants. Pretty nasty. That's another toxin that you don't want to get all up in your eyes or in your skin, or have any broken skin with that. That's some nasty stuff. But yeah, he's a dictator. That's what dictators do. That's what dictators do. Dictators are going to dictate. That's what they do. They're crazy people. Now, Vladimir Zelensky, he isn't all that great of a person either. He's a corrupt puppet president. I wasn't into the reprobate dancing and stuff that he did. So this isn't like more for you. It isn't for Ukraine. I feel bad for Ukraine, for the women and children and all the slaughter going on and the expansion of territory. That is a Nazi move. I don't care what anybody says. It's a Nazi Germany move. But we also can't ignore the actual Nazis that Russia kind of planted here through subversion in our colleges with the radical left too. So I understand both sides. You're looking at one enemy and you're like, we got this threat right here. The enemy of my enemy, the enemy of my friend. How does that go? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. So you guys might be getting the idea that because we're enemies of the radical left and they're causing all this hell and all these problems and they're reprobates, that because they back Ukraine, we shouldn't back Ukraine. I don't care who you back right now. The point is, Russia really is, they're a plant. They're very bad. China's very bad. That's the enemy right now, and that's where all the focus needs to be on. I know people don't want endless wars. They're afraid of getting into a hot conflict. I've heard people say we haven't fought with a standing army in a very long time. Yeah, the last time we did that was 1945. It was World War II. We fought the Nazis from Germany. And we fought the Japanese. But we've also had skirmishes, with like China, and then there's been some stuff with North Korea. So there was like a Korean War or something. So I don't know. We've had little things other than insurgencies like Vietnam and Afghanistan. But we learned that insurgencies are very hard to put down, and they kick serious butt, because America is the baddest superpower in the world, and we got our butts kicked by people that live in little mud huts and shoot our jets down with AK-47s. Don't give your guns up. That's retarded. But please recognize the actual enemy, because according to Yuri Bezmenov's lecture, we're supposed to either erupt into civil war or be invaded. It's one or the other. So, I don't know. But we might be able to quell that and find a way to navigate peace if we say, hey, you're Americans, but you're our Americans. You're kind of idiots, but you're our idiots. So let's work on bridging this gap.